The world is one, especially for cricket fans, as the 50-over World Cup kicks off in India. We've looked in depth at all teams here on WION, and you can catch detailed previews on our digital streams. Just go looking for WION World of Cricket. I'm Digvijay Singh here. I'm joined by cricketing royalty. Dav Whatmore, Sri Lanka's 1996 World Cup winning coach, is our cricket pundit. And today we are talking game changers. So let me just put it out there. We are not talking about players we have spoken of in the other segments like the batters or the bowlers. Let's look at Dav Whatmore's 5 game changers to look out for. Those numbers are going to come up here. I'm going to turn. There you are. These are the 5 you've picked, and I'll get you to talk about them. You think Ben Stokes, oh, hang on, we all know that. Suryakumar Yadav, does he get a game? Glenn Maxwell, the big show. I'm intrigued by the bottom 2 because their strike rates, when we talk in detail, aren't exactly pointing to the fact that they could be game changers. But tell me, why these 5?
Well, I believe they've all got the ability to change the course of a game, to counter-attack, to counter-punch. Some of those figures will obviously be, understandable, but as you said, 1 or 2, like Mohammad Rizwan and Jadeja, may surprise some. But I feel that they've got the ability to change the game, and that's why I put them in there.
Okay, so let's talk about the first man out there. And I think no surprise, if there's any certainty in this list, it's Ben Stokes. And I believe, and you may agree or disagree with me, we have a good relationship. I think he's the greatest match winner of this generation. And with all due respect to the likes of Virat Kohli, Steven Smith and Mitchell Starc, everyone else, what Ben Stokes does, he does it when the chips are down.
Surely, and what some of the figures don't tell you is the timing of his performances. It comes at a time when he rescues, and I call him the rescuer. And, he's worth his weight in gold because he's able to turn a situation in the game that's heading in the wrong direction into the opposite direction, and more times than not, they win the game. So.
Okay, let's get in some numbers, We're going to have some numbers coming up here. This is Ben Stokes' best innings, which we've picked, but you know what? We have the sort of bit of a bias is allowed. Yeah, these are his top 5 innings. Not every game they've gone and won. But the World Cup final single-handedly kept them in the hunt. Then came out, there was that emotional super over, they win the World Cup. His comeback series just a couple of weeks ago, the 182 against New Zealand. Again, England was struggling over there. Then the T20 World Cup final, a very underrated 52. It was a struggle, it was a big struggle, and he took England over the line against Pakistan, who were bowling well. The Headingley Test, we remember that coupled with the ODI World Cup final got him the player ICC Cricketer of the Year award. And again, earlier this year, they didn't win this game, but for the briefest of moments, for that afternoon, I thought England were reeling.
Absolutely.
They were reeling, Australia were reeling with that counter-attack.
And Diggy, can you also recall that one-handed catch on the boundary line?
Yeah.
In a very awkward position. That was just incredible to watch. I mean, not many people have the ability to do that.
So that for you is the game-changing one.
Well, that's right. It can be, those sort of catches will turn a game. An incredible run-out will turn a game as well.
Let's look at Ben Stokes' numbers, because when you look at those numbers, you think, gosh, what's the fuss all about? But then, just look at this. 108 games, just 3,000 runs. I've not put bowling in here. He's not going to bowl.
Yeah. If there was another stat that showed when he rescued, how many times he's rescued a team, like Adam Gilchrist, that would be, really useful to know as well, because this fella, he's got the ability to do that.
But is that also because it may not show up that way, but we remember those innings because it's the impact. We've sort of seen it happen, and that impact stays with you. Perhaps there have been other innings as well, but these stay with us because of the impact on how he turned the game around.
Well, that's right, and good cricket knowledgeable people will know that. They'll know that this is the reason why you've won the game, or this is the reason why you nearly won the game. It's changed the course of the game.
Okay, but talking about Ben Stokes, to do what he does, you need clarity of mind. But let's not forget, this is a person who's bounced back from adversity. We remember the 2016 T20 final, World Cup final, where he gets, defends 19, but gets hit for 4 straight sixes. Then a year later comes that brawl, he's arrested, he misses out, somehow clears his name. That struggle with his dad's health, unfortunately lost his dad. But each time he's on the cricket field, he manages to shut all the noise out and play cricket sort of the way he sees it. The ball's there to be hit, I'll tonk it.
Well, that's right. He's had he hasn't been without his, problems over the recent times anyway. But he's got the clarity of mind, he's got the conviction of his thoughts to go ahead and execute. Single-mindedly, there's a lot of distractions that come into your mind with all cricketers. But it's the ones who are able to remove them, to erase them from your mind, knowing what you need to do, and then go ahead and executing. He's one of the few that can do that and change the game.
Yeah, okay. Imagine you are the coach in the opposite dugout or the pavilion, dressing room, wherever. You know it's a must-win game, it's a World Cup semi-final or a final. Ben Stokes walks into bat. As an opposing bowler, as an opposing captain, as the opposing coach, it is sort of intimidating. And that's half the battle won. So how do you prepare for someone like a Ben Stokes? Because you don't know the conventional works, unconventional works.
Yeah. Well, you need to plan, that's for sure. You need to know what you'd like to do early in his innings, because you'd like to get him out early. If you don't, then you might have to pay the price. So I'd be going with a positive, attacking mindset. These guys that can change games and be very aggressive, I think you've got to match it with as much a positive mindset and aggressive mindset yourself. Okay, you're going to fight fire with fire. It may work, it may not, but I think it gives you a better chance of succeeding.
Okay, the aggressive option, okay. On that note, Dav Whatmore, thank you so much for this lovely education. A reminder, Dav Whatmore has also picked his top 5 batters and bowlers. You can go onto our digital streams and catch that. Again, I repeat, if you like something he said or you disagree, write to us using the hashtag #WIONCricket or ask Dav. As Dav picked his 5 game changers, he also told us that they may not necessarily reflect on the scoreboard, but teams deep down know that these small passages of play change the game. That's it then on this special edition of WION World of Cricket. Plenty more cricket coming up. The World Cup is getting underway and we have all bases covered.